Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in today's AFK journey video, we are going to share a PvP team that's not Celestial or Hypogean dependent, and it's a team with Ludovic. So I've been testing Ludovic quite a lot on both PvE as well as PvP, and I've lost quite a bit, right, on both my account as well as my friend's account. So I used up most of my attempts, or in fact all my attempts on my own account itself, and I'll use my friend's account right here to showcase the Ludovic team as well as talk about how the positioning works against some of the more common setups in the meta. How do you deal with them? How does this team fare against them? So before I start, there won't be any Celestial Hypogean in today's video, and in case you guys have any of them, right, the best partner with Ludovic will be Talin, right? They have insane synergy, insane damage with insane healing coming out from both of them, and Talin is able to sustain her ultimate burning for as long as possible. So that's one insane synergy. If you have Talin, you can use her together with Ludovic, and then you throw in a few other units to make the team balance. You have a really good team there. Other than that, I think in general Ludovic also goes really well with Skalita, because Ludovic just buys a lot of time by providing a lot of heal. So if you have any of these units, right, heck, even Reina or even Friesto, and you can use them, you try to use them with your Ludovics or even in your normal arena teams itself, because they can be pretty game changing with their skill sets, or even just having more stats for your team. So without further ado, let's start with the very first run. So I've tested out quite a few runs with this team. I can safely say this team is quite solid. So we will test against the common Carolina as well as Iron teams over here. So this team is the Carolina Iron team with a mix of burst as well as sustain. So the opponent is using a confining spell, and let me just start by explaining the core units for the team. So we will be using Ludovic, right, Torrent as well as Iron. So these three units, they are the core of the team. So Iron repositions your whole team to provide the debuff as well as control, for Torrent to also unleash a lot of ultimate damage on the enemy, because Torrent's ultimate deals a lot of damage, and because you have Ludovic to provide the insane heals that Torrent needs to take in a lot of damage, Torrent will then be able to deliver a massive ultimate damage, because you are taking damage while being healed by Ludovic at the same time. So the damage that you can take is way more than without Ludovic. So that is one insane synergy that you guys have. So Torrent can be a pretty powerful carry, but if your enemies are spread out, then the ultimate effect from Torrent is not as impactful. So that's where you throw in Iron for the repositioning, for the grouping of enemies, so that Torrent can deliver more as well. And Iron is just in general a very powerful unit in arena, so you use him if you have him, right? And he's not like the Celestial Hypogean, so he should be more accessible for more people. So this will be the core three. In terms of the other units, right, for this team itself, after much testing, I'll say Damien as well as Arden will be very good units for the team as well, because Damien provides additional sustain, so more healing together with Ludovic. You can also use Hewin for this slot, right? So these two units, as long as you have two sustain in the team, I think your healing and sustain is more than sufficient. And you want to have Arden in the team because you need additional firepower in case your Torrent as well as your Iron doesn't deliver in terms of the Torrent ultimate damage combo. So then against the enemy who is using a more control variant of Iron Carolina, we will also be using a more control variant. I will be putting Arden behind Torrent so that Arden will be able to do a lot of damage to also heal up Torrent at the same time. And against confining spell, I think in general Damien is just a lot better, because Hewin basically does nothing if she gets confined, right? But if the card gets confined, Damien is still able to charge up the energy bar. So that's one synergy that you guys need to know. Ludovic is also an insanely good confining bait, so he can take confining spell, or you can put him aside. I think for this time around, I will probably use him as a confining bait right here, so that both him as well as Damien will be the confining bait. And then we're gonna put Torrent here and Arden here to protect our carry. And without further ado, let's start the run. Okay, so let's show the very first run, very first battle. So go at 3 times. So right here, one more PvP neat trick that Ludovic can do is that Ludovic won't be put in by Iron at the start of battle, because when he's using his field itself, he's inbound, so he cannot be controlled, neither can he be moved. So as you guys can see, my Ludovic is all the way at the back, but it doesn't matter because the field is the one that's healing my ally. So even if he's confined, he is still providing the heal for the team, and that's why I say this unit is an insanely good confining spell bait. Okay, so we're gonna go 3 times. Okay, as of the current meta, I think one of the best pairing with Ludovic will be one consisting of Talin, right? Because these 2 units are insane in terms of synergy. You can also group Ludovic with Scalita, because Ludovic, like I mentioned earlier, stalls out the fight for Scalita to charge up. I think Ludovic can also go into the Iron Carolina comp as well, because you have a Griefborn, and then provides that heal for the team so that your team can dish out damage and survive longer. So we're just going to refresh a few more times and find another team. So this is the burst team. So against this burst team comp variant, we're going to do this. Kind of want to protect my... Okay, using confining spell as well. So if you see confining spell, I would advise putting Damien as well as Ludovic at the back, because they're excellent confining spell bait. And let's start the battle. Okay, so I want to link Arden to Torrent, because I also want to protect Arden to prevent my Arden from being sniped. So we're gonna go at 1 time so you guys see what's going on. So at the start of battle, Iron pulls everyone together. But because we are Ludovic on the battlefield, Ludovic is an insanely good anti-burst unit, because once the battle starts, there's no cooldown. The field will just charge up and then heal your whole team and then recover itself. So that's one of the strengths that Ludovic has. But unfortunately, against the enemy, the Talon came back and then is starting to do a lot of damage to my team, unfortunately. Hopefully, Damien's cut is enough for sustain. Okay, pull everyone together, really nice. Okay, nice. Okay, so right here I think we are gonna run through the damage distribution or the score sheet so that you guys know what's going on. So Ada is obviously gonna be the main damage dealer together with Iron, but at the same time, as you guys can see, Torrent is also dealing quite a bit of damage, provided that his ultimate didn't even hit that many people. And then we have a bunch of heals coming out from Ludovic as well as Damien over here. So this is definitely one very viable team. So against burst it works, against Carolina Arden it works. I'm gonna challenge another team variant. So I did a lot of run against solos right here, but I don't think we can win, because number 1, our units are understated. Number 2, I think in general a store team or a store variant of the team is just not really good against the likes of Dino and Scalita, because they're insanely powerful if you let the fight store out. So against this team you might have a lot of trouble, but against other team, for example like this one, for example, you do have a chance. So I'm going to showcase how this works right here. So confining spell. Okay, the opponent is not running confining, so we don't actually need a confining bait. We will actually use Arden to give us a little bit more damage, because if not we will have a lot of challenge. To be honest, I am not so confident against like this divine comp, because this comp is still really powerful despite me having slightly higher stats. Okay, but you can see the power level difference, right? It's not that far off. It's like 889, which is 890 versus 888. So this comp is still very strong just from the stats component, and their units are all insanely powerfully equipped. So I think for this case, I'll be running Healwind, because there's no confining spell. So Healwind will provide more heal in general, as well as damage reduction, being really helpful against the likes of Dino's ultimate itself. So I'll be using a lightning spell as well, so that I can get my Healwind ultimate off ASAP. And without further ado, let's start this run. Okay, so this is the change for the team. We go at 1 time, pull everyone on the bottom together. Okay, we group everyone together to prevent Barrow from doing too much. Okay, so Dino is starting to hit really hard. Okay, my Ludovic got sniped off, unfortunately. Okay, so that is the power of this team, right? Even with Ludovic having massive sustain, he still got sniped off by Donnell. But luckily, we still have Healwind to back things up. Okay, so Torrent is charging up the ultimate. We took some damage from Dino. Okay. Hopefully, we can retaliate all the damage to Scalita and snipe her off before she even uses her ultimate. Okay, that's quite a lot of damage, but our team is still healthy in general. Do we get thrown off by Scalita? Oh no, shit. Unfortunately, we got thrown off by Scalita. Okay, so right here we lost the fight. Okay, so against the Divine Comp, I think it's still going to be relatively challenging, unfortunately. Let's just do one more run against this same comp and see whether or not we can actually win. So, yeah, solos is not possible. That comp has way more stats and is a lot stronger. So let's see whether we can get inverse once again. Is Ludovic better if I protect Ludovic? If that's the case, right? Do I need iron? I might not need iron for this team. I might just need more sustain for the team in general. Yeah, this is challenging. Okay, I think we will just apply more damage to our this is challenging because against this comp it's like, who do I buff up with enlightening spell, or do I even use confining spell? Confining spell is just not very good against enlightening in general, so let's just go with this one and see how it goes. So we have 3 healers just to out heal the diagonal, and then hopefully my Arden don't get sniped off, and then my Arden can deliver the damage with Torrent being healed up by 3 supports. Very nice. Okay, that was some really good damage coming out from Torrent. Managed to bring down, you guys can see, right, as Diana is throwing the ultimate, our whole team is still being healed up a lot, right, by all the healers together with Ludovic few. Okay, but now we have to withstand the Scalita's hammer. Okay, Scalita hammer still doing job. Okay, unfortunate. I think this team will still have issues against Scalita in general. Yeah, I think against one of them, Dino, it is still decent, but against 2 Hypogean and Celestial is still very challenging because Dino is very fast on the burst, so you need the heal. But if you stall out the fight against Scalita, it's gonna be really challenging because that way the Scalita is able to charge up, and then one hammer coming out from her is just insane damage. Right, you guys can see the Dino was hitting so hard, but we were able to heal back, but we were not able to deal with the Scalita hammer itself. So yeah, if Scalita is super duper stacked up with Supreme Plus with enough EX weapon levels, right, she's quite a menace in arena, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just a simple showcase for this team, right? It is a viable substitute, and against maybe just one Celestial Hypogean, it is still winnable. But unfortunately, in this bracket itself, I don't have one Celestial Hypogean. It's either a duo or none, or maybe a trio or none. So I can't show you guys from there. But based on my own testing on my other account, it is able to beat the Iron as well as the Scalita team. If you're able to position your units well with a little bit of RNG there, it is a winnable setup. So that's it, just a simple introduction for a viable Ludovic team in Arena. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!